Hey, I saw you working hard this week, so I made you this big bowl of tech news. Careful now.
It's hot!
Gamers Nexus may have found the reason why the RTX 4090 connector is getting even hotter than that bowl of tech news I just gave you. In a video published on Wednesday after completing 2 weeks of testing the infamous 12-volt high-power connector, the GN team disputed the weak solder joints hypothesis put forward by Igor's lab, stating politely that Igor didn't appear to conduct any actual heat testing and only looked at adapters that hadn't failed, which is kind of like looking for socially well-adjusted teenagers in a school chess club. That seems unnecessarily rude.
I was in one.
Steve from Gamers Nexus instead postulated 2 potential causes for the failures. First, foreign object debris created either in manufacturing or by repeated plugging and unplugging, which could get into the pins and heat up from conduction. The second hypothesis was a scenario in which the connector is not plugged all the way into the graphics card, which is the only failure scenario they were able to replicate. Seems like the adapter overheats when it's not absolutely fully plugged in, whether that's because you didn't realize you hadn't gotten it all the way in there, or because you did get it in, but then bent it at a sideways angle, which pops one side out a few millimeters. I mean, we all do that from time to time.
I pop out a few millimeters.
Sometimes I pop off. And we're trying to summarize this as best we can, but Steve's 30-minute video has way more detail, so go watch it. The findings may be good news for Nvidia, who found themselves the target of a class action lawsuit over the melting adapter, as well as a merciless tweet from an AMD exec. I wonder what burned more. Probably the 4090.
Yeah, it's just fact.
People were, it was dangerous.
Smoking.
Nvidia just released a statement regarding testing of their own that is consistent with GN's conclusion and stated they are aware of only 50 cases of failure globally, which is a drop in the bucket. I guess there's no reason not to buy a $1,600 GPU now.
Take out that second mortgage.
We are kidding, that's a joke. Do what you will. Speaking of things that can be hot, DeepFakes.
Okay.
You've seen your favorite celebrities in commercials or a trailer for an upcoming British series, and that's it. Nowhere sketchy at all. And one company is hoping to keep it that way. Intel has developed a technology to detect deepfakes called FakeCatcher, makes sense,
Good.
which can operate in real time to detect deepfake videos. Intel, much like our fans in the YouTube comments, quickly claimed to be first to do this. FakeCatcher reportedly uses a deep learning AI that analyzes the blood flow mechanics of a face to determine if the likeness is authentic or not. And apparently, it has a 96% success rate. It doesn't work as well for bloodless people, like Mark Zuckerberg. The tech is based on photoplethysmography,
Nailed it.
a technique of measuring the change in blood flow in human tissue. A real person's tissue will change color microscopically as blood travels through all those tubes in their face. The old blood tubes, they call them, back in the old country. And deepfakes are currently unable to replicate this phenomenon. So let's hope nobody unsavory figures out how to do that anytime soon. Namely the bloodless people. Elon Musk, AKA Mussy Baka. That's right, we're still not free of this torment, and so neither are you. It seems Twitter lost its payroll department and hundreds of other employees after Musk gave workers an ultimatum on Wednesday. Work long hours at high intensity or leave with 3-month severance. For some reason, a lot of people in the finance department took the severance and left to presumably work at a less extremely hardcore company. And it wasn't just them. One report claims that less than 50% of Twitter's employees decided to stick around for Musk-chan's Twitter 2.0.
Don't worry, Gato.
That's the name of the anime. Yesterday, Twitter let employees know that all office buildings would be temporarily closed and badge access would be suspended effective immediately. Apparently, this was done to prevent sabotage by employees, but also they're still figuring out which workers they need to cut access for. Man, he can't trust the people he's fired, but he also can't trust the people that are sticking around. The badge manager was even fired and had to be asked to come back. Can you believe that? You shouldn't, because it was actually a joke. But that didn't stop Elon from thanking him on Twitter instead of getting at him for impersonation. I thought he was all about that right now, but okay. Later that night, everyone thought Twitter was going to die and started saying goodbye for the second time in a month. But this time, Elon got in on the memes too, of course. The next morning, he asked his followers, what should Twitter do next? Accomplished that, what next? Now it's time for Quick Bits, brought to you by MANSCAPED. Christmas is right around the corner, and their new Performance Package 4.0 will make a great gift to your partner. It includes their waterproof and cordless lawnmower 4.0, their weed whacker ear and nose trimmer for tricky trimming, and their crop preserver and crop reviver for your deodorizing and hydration needs. For a limited time, you'll also get 2 free gifts, the Shed travel bag and the MANSCAPED anti-chafing boxer briefs. So don't wait, go to manscaped.com and use promo code TECH for 20% off your order plus free international shipping. Quick bits, they're little stories that want to be on the thumbnail when they grow up.
You can do it, Junior, if you believe in yourself.
You can do it. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet launched today directly into the ground. While the game has extravagant ideas, the execution leaves something to be desired. Sometimes the camera doesn't follow you, sometimes you have to battle a wall. It happens. Sometimes you fall into a void, and sometimes it's your Pokemon. But you get a Pokemon that functions as a motorcycle, so 10 out of 10, IGN. T-Swizzle, who you may know by her stage name of Taylor Swift, caused a bit of a ruckus when she announced her first tour in 5 years, and the pre-sale crashed Ticketmaster. Then, Ticketmaster announced that due to the massive demand during the pre-sale, the general sale would be canceled. There's one rule, Ticketmaster, don't f with Swifties.
Ticketmaster, more like ticket student.
In the aftermath, Ticketmaster actually posted, then deleted a blog post explaining what happened. Swift subreddit seems to think they didn't like being criticized by Swifties in the comments. I guess they didn't think they could be overwhelmed with demanding Swift fans 2 times? Meat doesn't have to be murder anymore. The United States Food and Drug Administration has approved lab-grown chicken for human consumption. The product is made in steel tanks by the company Upside Foods.
Lab-grown chicken is what they called me in high school.
I assume Upside Foods decided to make chicken because it would be easiest since it tastes like everything. The FDA stated that they had no further questions, which means they're either confident in their decision or they're scared they'll sound stupid if they ask, like I was in university. And I failed a test, so let's hope it's not that. Multiple small businesses have been hacked on Facebook and Instagram and are getting charged hundreds of dollars on PayPal. Each. I should say each. It's not hundreds of dollars.
Each.
Yeah. Apparently, hackers gained access to their Meta accounts, add their own accounts to the victim's ad accounts before removing the original account owner. Then they get the victim banned by posting inappropriate content so that they can't access their accounts and alert Meta that they've been hacked. Who came up with this? The hackers are then free to buy ads with someone else's money. How did they get access to the account in the first place? Well, they might have bribed an employee, since more than 12 have just been fired for selling users' information. Wait, that's my job, said Mark Zuckerberg, probably.
He was jealous.
Because they fired people. Do you remember? Would you go watch the video? And researchers have detected an unusual black hole merger. The merger, named GW190521,
what does it mean?
For good reason, didn't fit the typical model of 2 black holes orbiting each other, then colliding. In fact, it was determined that they weren't spinning at all, but flew at each other through space before crossing paths and then eating each other in the universe's most terrifying yandere meet-cute ever discovered by science. That's how I would describe it too. And you'll be able to discover more tech news if you come back next week. Don't worry though, I don't bite, unless provoked.
Yum yum.